mismanagement of the brands utilizing the broadcasting rights, and the candidate were not provided what they had to be provided, it creating the understanding to earn more. I'll wait for a while and then we'll stop. I'll give you the data set, and accordingly the damages has to be paid to the telecommunication community, that is ITU, in terms of internet has to be utilized for the connection. However, internet cannot be misused, and under these protocols, internet works in a very different fashion, particularly from the year perhaps 2002 to 2005. So there's a lot of law before the broadcasting stuff, and I was one of the main candidates of that time also. I've been a candidate of internet for the longest time. So I'll just walk you through that data set. Give me a moment. I have just retrieved everything so that we can talk in detail, and accordingly the penalty has to be paid by these channels, which are television channels who are owning the broadcasting right, but they are not fulfilling promises as to what they have to when they are taking the attention of the user to execute their own. So I'm not getting into the Latin language right now. It's a quid pro quo situation. So I'm providing the data set. You can look into it. Okay, so particularly what happened in the year or from the year 2002 to 2005, the broadcasting right has been, and see, broadcasting rights under the law of whatever the acts are. So there are a lot of bare acts in India. So bare acts has nothing to do with the IPCs and the CPCs. So what is important here is to understand the impact of wrong data set from the very beginning, and it has happened through the interface of the broadcasting rights. What has happened is, in the year from the year 2002 to 2005, there were a lot of contests, or I would rather say from 1999, when the bubble burst happened in US, because of anyone and everyone, you send you sell, sanitary pads, that also got some kind of, um, I would say fiat currency was a term at that point of time, but fiat currency per se has been illustrated and orchestrated way back. However, game is always over. But the point here is, okay, let me just complete, then we will talk about the game over part. But the point here is, we are talking about this brand, Nakshhatra Diamonds, which was under the aegis of D Bears, and not the DTC brand, that's the Kerala chain. So they ran 2 campaigns on television, and they were taking the prime time. So what is prime time? At one point of time, when all these OTT platforms never existed at that point of time, prime time was always 8 p.m. and prime time is particularly the time slot where maximum number of viewers are watching that kind of show. And there's a prime time of 9 p.m. slot also. So the costing of the broadcasting right, which we have been working in Mobius also, that is my Singapore staff, which started in 2016, 17, whatever. But right now, the point here is to go back to the historical data set to understand in a proper fashion. So what happened in this time zone? Okay, so they ran 2 campaigns, one in the year 2002 and 2005. And Sony Entertainment has been a mischief for the longest time in terms of copying intellectual property rights, not providing the promises when the ads are run. So ads is basically advertisements. Advertisements, again, that also comes under different protocols of the Bear Acts. I'm not getting into it because here the understanding is very simple from the point of view of peer-to-peer stuff and the diamond industry from the protocol itself. First is diamond itself is not sustainable because a lot of if we see the kind of layers which are involved just to get the diamond, it is not conducive enough from the viewpoint of different protocols under the United Nations. Then the other part here is in this particular case, what happened was there is some never get good. Okay, fine. Now, when this happened, it was said in this particular case, the contest mechanics was, I'll just paste it and then perhaps we'll do the AI stuff also. So you watch it, and perhaps not only that, you have to log in onto a web domain, and when you log into a web domain, you have to give your details. And they said they are 100 or 1,000 pieces of this Nakshhatra diamond, which was being launched by this ex-Miss India or whatever the brand ambassador agreement they had, and 10 lucky customers from India would be selected and they would be given the same diamond set, whatever it was, and it's nothing but what I'm wearing right now, this one, which is just 5 diamonds. It's not the same it was promised to us at that point of time. When I was still in undergrad college in University of Delhi, and perhaps when we went, it was, they had their office at that point of time on this Dhruv Vihar Road, and the person or the marketing person, I might have the letter somewhere, but somehow that letter is with me. I told him that, you're not giving us what was promised to us. However, he said, be happy in whatever you're getting it for free. And diamond at that point of time, the costing according to them was, whatever I'm wearing was INR 25,000. So all this, number game which going under the SGD diamond, lab group diamond is absolute zero. There is no cognizance of diamond or the jewelry market in terms of the SGD gold also, because even if Tanish is taking the gold, like people who have this old day gold with them because of the designs, so it is being recycled, and with that recycled, new things are at the same point of time. It is not circular economy because the way the customer is treated, even if the customer is, if say for example I talk in USD, So this is again to understand the block part in particular. In USDT, if somebody is giving gold, which is absolute gold in the amount of 5,000 USDT, then also the way it is being treated by the people who are not accustomed with the laws, like they will break the bangles, and there's so much of wastage of the gold itself. So again, there is a lot of energy which is wasted in the whole process. So understanding here is like I'm not going to buy a gold of somebody else's stuff in terms of the circular economy, and I've stopped buying gold from Tanish. I remember way back when I started my practice, so Mia collection was launched. So this is way back in the 2000s. Mia collection was launched, and obviously Mia was catering to the main factor stuff of looking into the progressive corporate women culture in India. So I was very keen to have those NFTs with me. I would rather call it NFT because those designs are not available. Their making was almost 20-25%. So whatever was the cost, above on that, they were taking 25%. And I think luxury comes at a price. The understanding of the whole process of discussing this here is we need to code and decode what is going wrong and what has gone wrong over the years. And if we just go back, we are sitting in the year 2025. I think we have to go back to 1999 because the bubble burst happened in the 1999 as far as the internet was concerned. And right now, with the alignment of the current government in India, China, Japan, and the others, I think it's not only the BRIC or the G20 is going to make difference. What is going to make difference is to have more MOUs and all the G5s and the G6 and the G7, which includes the Asian countries and stuff, because I was instrumental in developing those frameworks for the telco patent applications. We're starting from the year perhaps, telco was always very near and dear to me. The framework work, I think, started somewhere from 2008, 2009, and the whole landscape of my reason, Malaysia is allowing the Indians to enter the country because now people are thinking that we have this data set, we will do this orchestration and try to amend the protocol which has already been developed over the years. So perhaps when this KPO outsourcing model was very in India, whether it's Kotro, whether it's whatever these fancy names are, I understood that I don't want to work with the with the cult. I'm not a person who likes to work with the cult. I'll create my own Jalan. Jalan is basically a path, and path is very important because you need to have a different protocol. Then only you understand the intelligence which is around the intellectual property rights, and copying per se is the easiest thing to do. That being said, this data set itself illustrates that. So in this particular contest of Nakshhatra Diamond, so I had given all the members' name in the family. So it was the prize was in my mom's name, and what they did was they bought the prime time, and it was like a Star Wars. So if people can go back and look into that data set, it was background was of Star Wars, and the name was flashed everywhere. And that reason why it's a very important data set. RITA, Rita, per se means zero. It's an English word, but the meaning of the name Rita is equal to zero. That is null and void. So what we have done in the smart contracts, we have taken zero as infinity. So Rita, it doesn't have to do anything with the coding part, but what we have done over the years, or perhaps on Ruby on Rails when we were working in Sri Lanka for the blockchain part, I took RITA Rita as infinity. Infinity not from the possibilities what it has, because I understood very clearly, because I went back to the bare racks. I saw the data set of my mom, because she was one of the, and the logic here is not the name Rita. The logic here is she was one of the winners of that particular contest. Now, because she was the winner of that particular contest and broadcasting right, and all these ministries had contacted me over the years to understand the protocol, and they explained me there. Then I went back to the protocols, read the law, read the sections, and I thought, why are they taking RITA as zero, null, and void? Why can't they just, put on different nomenclature? Because in the patenting landscape, you can have a different nomenclature, and we cannot allow, falsified data to be provided. Now, if you see the online world, you go to any of the LLMs, they will say whatever the contract price was. So I